everyone. Welcome to Here We Are, Brattleboro's community talk show. I'm Wendy O'Connell, and there are two landmarks in Putney. There's Landmark College and there's Curtis's Barbecue. On our show today, we have Curtis Tuff, and Curtis came here in the 60s. He is the chief owner, operator, and pitmaster of Curtis's All-American Barbecue, which almost all of us know by heart now. The barbecue has been smokin' for over 50 years, which is kind of hard to believe, but it's true. And he and the barbecue have been featured in many different publications, the New York Times, the National Geographic, Rachael Ray, among many others, and also an episode on the Phantom Gourmet, which is on the air. And so, Curtis, welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
It's great to have you on the show. And
Thank you.
We really appreciate you taking time out. You've been doing barbecue for over 50 years.
Yes, it is. It is
Yeah.
kind of hard to believe it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice, though.
Yeah.
You know.
And you started back in the 60s, but before that, way before that, you grew up in Georgia.
Yeah.
In Macomb, Georgia?
Macomb, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you grew up on a farm? Your family worked on a farm?
Yeah, I worked on a farm, years ago. Yeah, worked on a farm and did that. And after I left the farm, I then went to Tampa, Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
Went to Tampa, Florida, then came to be a fruit picker, picking fruit. And so it was a lot better than working on a farm.
Was it?
Yeah, picking fruit, you work as hard as you want, as slow as you want. The slow as you work, you don't make no money.
That's right.
The faster you work, then you make money.
That's right.
Yeah. It's hard work, but don't nothing come easy. So
You were a teenager when you went off to Florida?
yeah, I was a teenager, probably 18 or 19. Yeah, I was pretty young.
Ready to leave Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was 40s?
Yeah.
40s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And a little before that, when you were on the farm, you always had pets. You had.
Oh yeah.
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 You talk
Yeah.
about your pets a bit?
Yeah, oh yeah, I had pets. I had cats and had rabbits. Back then, you had rabbits and coons. Had coons back then. Possum and birds. Robins had birds back then.
Yep.
And they had that, and so then most you had all that stuff for pet, cause you can catch that stuff. You go out in the woods, then take a little food, then leave it there. Then you go back the next day, then there it is, they're eating food. So then you have make a little box of crap, then you catch them, and then you bring them home, then you start to feed them, then you wind up with pets. They won't go no place when you start feeding them. And of course they will be looking for food.
Yeah,
so
they know where to go.
They know where to go, So then that's the way you got your pets.
But you also had a pet pig, right?
Oh yeah,
I
got a pet pig. Yeah, then and I had CJ. I got Johnny now, and I had Isabel.
Isabel.
Yeah.
Since you've been in Putney, you mean you've had 3 different pigs?
Yeah. Since I've been in Putney.
And what does CJ stand for?
CJ stands for Curtis Jr.
I just thought I'd let that one out of the bag.
Yeah, Curtis Jr. That's what his name was. And a lot of the customers, they got on my case. What his name? I said, his name is Curtis Jr. You named him after you. What about your kids? I said, well, I named them something else. I said, I still got Curtis Jr.
You saved the big name for the pig.
Yeah, Curtis Jr. Yeah, they got a good laugh out of that, Curtis Jr., yeah.
Yeah, and he's housebroken.
Oh, yeah.
And everything, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He comes in the house, sleeps at night?
Oh, yeah. When they're small, they like to sleep in your lap,
That's
then,
so sweet.
And if you got cats, a dog, then they get used to the cats and dogs, and they play with one another.
That's so great.
Yeah, they play with one another.
They're part of the family.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're part of the family. They go over to the barbecue. They're just like the rest of the dogs, They go over to the barbecue, and hang around and play. And so when I get ready to come back, and then I let all the dogs out, plus him, and then they all come home together.
That's great. You've got a little posse there, right? Yeah. Curtis, when you back down in Florida, when you were picking oranges, right? someone came and made you an offer about coming up north. Is that how did that work?
One of the big apple growers, the big farm,
right.
and they had a chief, and then the chief up here called the chief down there, and he told him how many people they need to pick the fruit. So then he tell all the fruit pickers for picking fruit.
Yeah.
And he tell them, you know what I mean, we got to go up north to pick apples a certain time of year. So if any of you guys wants to go, you're welcome to come. You know, about 35 or 40 of them. He tell them how much money he need, you know, to come up. Then so what it does, then when they rent the whole bus, and that bus gonna take us to our destination.
Up north.
Yeah, up north.
It's just you guys coming on the bus north, and you had to stop at certain times.
Yeah.
And you're traveling now in the 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how was that for you guys?
Well, then some places was pretty good.
Yep.
And some places wasn't that good. So then,
And you're on your own.
Yeah, you know, you're on your own.
So you didn't run into a lot of trouble going back?
Not a lot of trouble, because we didn't hang around. You know, when we go to stop at a restaurant or something other to have food, and you know, when you got 30 or 40 black men getting out of a bus, you know what I mean? You kind of make people kind of nervous.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah, make them kind of nervous back then. You know, then they wonder what is you doing here?
Yeah.
And well, where's you going? You know, we didn't do too much talking. You know, we just go and have our food and talk to some of the people. Then we get back on the bus and leave, because we didn't have to go to a motel, because most of the time we slept on the bus.
Oh, really? You come up here and you worked for the Darrows quite a bit at Green Mountain Orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We worked for Bill Darrow. He was one of the nicest people you ever want to meet. All the pickers, they treat them so nice. Then, and he treated me nice. And he treated me like one of his sons, you know. And you know, then sometime, you know, I was up here then by myself, so he invited me to his house to have dinner, you know. Then, he just he really took good care of me. Then, and all the pickers would come up to work for him. Yeah. Then he appreciates that.
Yes, right.
And most of the pickers, they know that, and they appreciate it then too. You know, it's kind of hard for find a nice person like that.
It was also a time when the hippies started coming in to pick, right? Quite a few hippies.
Yeah.
And so you had a relationship with them as well, being fellow pickers.
Oh yeah. There's some of my best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some of my best friends, and back then, it was Wyndham School back then.
Wyndham College, that's
right. Yeah, it was
right.
Wyndham College back then, yeah. And it was all hippies in Brattleboro and Keene and all different places. And so when they get ready to do a party or a birthday, a concert, and they come and get me to do some cooking.
Now, did they know you were cooking? Had you cooked for them?
The most of the time, then I had just had a little barbecue outside of the road. You know, I buy fruit chickens and went side of the road, and I cooked them.
And that was like around Johnson's Curve Road? There was a shack there, right? A little house?
Yeah, a little house. Yeah, it used to be a little garage there years ago. Yeah. So then on weekends, weekends I go there and cook a fruit chickens.
At this time, you actually are living full-time in Putney?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and Bill Darrow helped you out during all that time as well?
Oh yeah, Bill Darrow helped me out. He's the one that caused them still here. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been here.
Really?
No. He gave me a job. He gave me a house to live in. He gave me a car to drive.
Wow.
And then he gave me probably everything.
Huh.
When I was working, then he know what I was doing. He said, Curtis, won't you take the weekend? You don't have to work here on weekend. Take the weekend off and go out with your friends. So I said, well, that's a good idea.
And you did that.
Yeah, I did that. I went out with my hippies. Then all of my hippies, cause that's all it was then. You know what I mean?
You witnessed how the hippies were being discriminated against.
Yeah,
And you being full-time, year-round, one of the only black persons in town.
Yeah, I was the only black person here in Putney.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the guys in Putney back then, it was giving the hippies a hard time. The hippies, they'd be walking down the street, going to the store or something other than
long hair, bare feet, the whole deal.
Long hair, you know what I mean, then just going to the store, then we walking and some of the guys, stop the car and jump out the car and grab them, you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, start to beating up on them for no reason at all. Because they didn't bother nobody. There was no that kind of pressure.
How was that for you to see? Because you had grown up with that.
It was kind of hard for me to see things like that. Why is it happening? Because they didn't do anything. All they did, you know what I mean, they liked to enjoy themselves, and they treated people really nice, So they didn't treat people as mean or anything like that. All they did, is treat people nice, give you the time of day, then have time to talk to you, then and the whole, that's the way the hippies was, you know what I mean? Then me, myself, then I was one of them, then I can go in any place, King, Brattleboro, in the place.
Yeah, and when you came here to live full time, was that like a huge change for you to be able to have that kind of freedom?
Yeah, it was a big change. Yeah, it was a big change for me. They come here and on a black man here is live in Putney, and I was kind of nervous at began. I didn't know how things was going to be.
Right.
And a good thing I had Bill Dara, then he said, Curtis, don't worry, everything going to be okay. If it's, if you want to go back to Florida, then I'll buy you a ticket, send you back. But you welcome to live here. Then if you need me for anything, just let.
He's a real champion.
Yeah. Just let me know. You know what I mean. Then the whole family was really nice to me.
Yeah. And you eventually brought your whole family up here.
Yeah. 1 year for Christmas. And then he asked me. He said, Curtis, have you ever think about bringing your family up here? I said, well, yes, I thought about it. And he said, well, I think it would be a good idea. He said, I think you're really going to stay here now, ain't you? I said, yes, I think I'm going to do that too.
Yeah.
Then he said, well, it's so nice to have you. He said, why don't you send and get your family? Then I said, I will do that. So he said, well, I would buy the ticket and send them. I'll buy the ticket and send them a ticket so they can come down here. So I had three boys. Three boys. Yeah, three boys. Then he sent them a ticket, and they all got on the bus and came down.
Wow, that must have been a change for them as well.
Yeah, it was a change. Yeah,
snow,
it was,
right?
Yeah, it was
cold weather.
Yeah. They'd never seen snow before. Because it was, some of them was kind of small. Then it kept growing up. They never seen snow before.
Yeah, right.
And that was a big surprise to them.
Yeah, and they all went to school here. They all went through the high school.
Yeah, they all went to school here, and it was very nice to the kids. There wasn't no black people in the school.
No.
That's just them.
That's right.
Yeah, just them. Most of the student was pretty nice. You had a few.
I'll bet.
In the school, but the most of the people was nice. Just like it is just like it is now. You know, now then the most of the peoples in Putney and Brattleboro, and you know, in different places, and they're pretty nice. You know, some of them,
Right.
some of them is not too nice, but the most of them is theirs. But it's a good place to raise your family.
Right. And you know, I mean, just thinking about, you know, you growing up in the 30s in the South,
Yeah.
and coming up to Putney in the 60s, and still being here in the 2000s, and what has happened in the country, you know,
Yeah.
during that time. The whole civil rights movement has happened.
Yeah.
You know, amazing changes from when you were a kid.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of that.
You've seen that all.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of that going on. Oh boy.
Yep.
And it was kind of nervous for you, you know, going to place. You know what I mean? Because it was so much going on, because you didn't know what was going to happen. But you mostly, you know, when it was something like that, then you mostly just keep your mouth shut and be nice to people, and just go ahead.
Well, that's kind of your philosophy, right? You know,
Yeah.
as long as you're nice and kind.
Yeah, not only just nice and kind, you know what I mean, but you know, and things will work out for you, you know. But if you walk around in the world with your head stuck up in there like the world owe you something, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
It won't happen now. No, you know.
Yeah.
You know, then people take you as you are, you know.
And it comes back. And I think that that's one thing that's such a testament to the barbecue.
Yeah.
People keep coming back.
Yeah.
And so tell us how you are the ninth wonder of the world.
Oh, the ninth wonder of the world. Well, I was cooking a barbecue a pig down to one of the hippest houses down on the Connecticut River down there. So I was doing a pig down there. So we had something like a big party. So I was doing a pig down there. Then and one of the 2 or 3 of the students, they was writing some kind of book, and so then they came down there. Then they said, Curtis, what's the name of your place? I said, I don't have one. He said, you don't have a name for your place? I said, no. He said, well, I'm going to make you up a name for your place, then we're going to give you a good name. So the next day, and I was walking, I think I was going in the store, and they came, said, Curtis, we got a name for you. I said, really? They said, yep, we got a name for you. Then I thank you like it. I said, what's the name? He said, you is the ninth wonder of the world. I said, you kidding me? He said, yep, you's the ninth wonder of the world.
And it's stuck.
I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, yep, you's the ninth wonder of the world. I said, well, what about King Kong? He said, King Kong is the 8th wonder of the world. And you's the 9th wonder of the world. He said, can't nobody take that from you. You's the only 9th wonder of the world.
It's on your sign. Nobody can take that from you. Yeah. And how did you learn about grilling? How did you learn about doing the barbecue?
Well, back in my grandfather back in the days, then I watched him how he cooked back then. So back then, you watch your grandfather and your father how he was cooking, you know. Then they mostly tell you then, keep an eye on what I'm doing now. You may want to learn this one of these days. Yeah, and I watched them how to cook. And so I cooked a little bit, and I did most of my cooking here in Brattleboro and Putney. And started cooking the fruit chicken. And one of the students was having a birthday party, and they wanted a pig. They wanted to cook a pig. I said, I never cooked a pig before. He said, well, the pig should be okay. You cook a chicken, don't you? I said, yeah, I said, a chicken is not a pig. They said, well, then we don't want a big pig. We want a,
Small pig.
a small, a medium-sized pig. Then I said, I never cooked one, but I sure give it a try. Then he said, well, I tell you, he said, if you bun it up, we can't eat it. If you don't bun it up, we guarantee we'll eat it.
That's great.
I said, well, that's fair enough. Let's just cook the pig.
Fair enough. And the special sauce?
The special sauce has come from the chief, chief down in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's come from here because I was cooking in Florida, then I was cooking some chicken.
Uh-huh.
And then he asked me, said, do you have a sauce for this? I said, no, I don't have no sauce. I just put some ketchup and stuff on it. He said, I'm going to tell you how to make a sauce, but it's a secret. You keep it to yourself now. I said, I will do that. He said, if you ever be a millionaire, you owe me. I said, okay, I'll do that too.
That's great.
So he told me how to make the barbecue sauce.
And is it a secret still?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And it was also Rachael Ray called it the best hot and spicy sauce in the categories that she had. Yeah. So it's gotten famous along with everything else.
Yeah.
Once the whole Curtis barbecue thing really started happening, a lot of people started covering it, like coming to you and interviewing you and writing articles about it. And what was that like for you?
Well, that was really nice. Before a lot of people come and look at what I was doing and started doing nice things for me, putting me on, newspapers and all different kind of stuff, and that was really nice. They always tell me when they come and do that, they say, "'Cause we're going to make you famous." I said, "Okay, go ahead and make me famous one of these days." So then they start doing that. Then a lot of people, when they come by, they take pictures. Yep. They said, "We're gonna put the picture up on the wall. So when I get ready for barbecue, then I know I got your pictures. And I have to look at you. Then I come down." So then, so it started happening from there. From people taking the pictures and putting them in newspapers and books and all kind of different stuff like that.
I was reading something and they were talking about how, this is an old-fashioned roadside barbecue. We don't have a lot of this in Vermont, for one thing.
No.
But and the way you started out really small and then getting bigger and bigger and then getting, so much acclaim is and recognition. And I think that another thing is that a lot of what you're doing is you're making a place where people are comfortable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
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 And that's important to you.
Yeah, that's very important to me. And it's important to me, and it's very important for the people to come and see me. Because my barbecue, then you won't find many places like that, because I made it so I had really small kids myself, and they needed a place to play, without worry about cars and all that stuff. And so I wanted to make a place for people when they bring their kids. And I wanted them to have a place to sit down and play just like the grown-up does.
Right, right.
And so I made my place so, they have a sand pile, they have toys, then they got enough room to run around out there without bothered by cars and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So then a lot of the people's, the customer, they like that. They bring their kids, then I say you can bring your kids, your horses, your cows, your chickens and your rabbits and your whatever you want to bring. I said, there's enough room here for all of us.
That's
so
and you do. You've got a little oasis there.
Yeah.
Right off of 91.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of land. You've got a nice covered area where people can sit or under umbrellas.
Yeah.
And you got the bikes for the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the big sand pile. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, it's nice, and the kids love it because when they come, when the parents drive them by, oh, I want to go to Curtis barbecue.
Right.
Yeah,
well, it looks pretty darn interesting.
And a lot of times, then the kids keep at them, and they have to bring them.
Yeah.
They have to bring them to Curtis barbecue.
That's right.
I said, well, that's good.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I want to read one thing. It was in a review, and I'll just read this so the audience can hear hear it. So this is about Curtis's Barbecue, and it says, in its final analysis, Curtis's Barbecue is a quasi-epic American adventure. It's like the Stations of the Cross or a pilgrimage to Mecca. The art of going there and partaking in the communal feel with the smoke in the air is otherworldly and very satisfying. What you get at Curtis's is more than sustenance. It's food for the soul, and so it calls me back over and over, and today I return once again. Yeah. That's like Kipling, right?
Yeah,
it's great. It's really wonderful. Did you ever imagine when you were a kid or growing up that you would end up anywhere near?
No, I never imagined it. No, I never did. But kept getting going. Year after year. And more people started coming by.
Yeah.
Then the next year I see some of the same people's come by to see. I have people's coming now. I haven't been there in maybe 8 or 9 years. When they up that way, they always come by to see me.
Yeah.
It's great to see people think about you and come by. That's mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
That's what keep me going. Then nice people. Then some of them. California, Texas, and then you come up. And
you made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's really nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
Curtis, thank you so much for coming on.
It's a pleasure coming on.
It was lovely.
Pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, great to talk to you.
And so you're going to make me famous, huh?
Yeah, we're going to make you famous.
Okay.
BCTV.
Okay.
Public Access TV. We're going to get you out there, and along with Rachael Ray.
All right.
And the Phantom Gourmet. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks.
And thanks to all the nice people who made it possible.
That's right.
Yeah,
Everybody, the community and tourists and Bill Darrow.
Yeah. Making it nice.
All right.
And thank you for thinking about me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've been on my radar.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks to all of you for joining us. And again, Curtis is right off of Exit 4 in Putney. And it's a lovely little spot. And it's summertime, and it's a good time to take the family and go out and get some great food. And also, you can check out Curtis's dogs. There's a whole posse of them there that'll say hello to you.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Exactly.